Hello, I'm just getting a couple things set up here real quick. Bear with me. 1 second. What is my email? In the chat, let me know how you are doing today. If you've been with me live before, or if this is your first time, let me know while I'm getting this set up. There we go. Oh, you know what I could do? Let me see if I can do that. I don't know that it'll let me. Probably not. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to access that. I was hoping to get the comments off my phone onto the iPad, but I have not had time. So we are gonna have to skip, hello, comments that I wanted to do today. I am trying to go live on another platform too. Hold on 1 second. Yes, confirm. Give me 1 second here. Yeah. Okay. What's the best way to do this? Here's my block. Okay. I'll explain what I'm doing in a second. That's better. Okay, that's good. Now, start. Okay. Yes, there we go. All right, so I am also going live on another platform. I am wearing some new socks today that I just got. I did another video, but I haven't edited or published it yet. But you may have heard me talk about Brian. He bought me some new aloe yoga socks, which are very comfortable. I have them on right now. I just got back from the gym, so if I'm a little sweaty, that's why. But I have the new socks on and I'm going live on another channel with the socks. So multitasking is what we're doing here. Okay, what are you guys saying here in the chat? Let's take a look. I have an itch. Hello, Jungle. And Iliip says he's good. Hello, Anum. Gosh, you guys have some names that are very hard for me. Hello to Milo and Anoop. I'm just gonna call you Anoop because that's a very long name. May I kneel down in your live session? Yes, you have permission to kneel down, but hopefully you can still see the comments if you're kneeling. Maybe you can put the phone right in front of you. Hello, Adam, and who else we got? Mika and Arcane Winner, who is one of our newest members. I saw that you signed up. Were you in the last live stream or is that somebody else with a similar name? Oh, Huramika? I know I'm not saying that right. Huramikma said that he or she just followed me and found me online. He's so lucky. Lucky for you. That was you. Okay. Yes. Well, welcome back. I think if it was you, in the last live stream, somebody was saying that they wanted to serve, and I wasn't sure if you knew how to do that. I'm kind of limited to what I can say on this platform, but if you message me on any of my social media platforms, I can direct you how to do that if you are interested in that. So yes, back to the socks. I'm wearing these new socks. They are now very sweaty after I went to the gym. Let me see. They're not too dirty, but if you follow me on LF, you can hop over there and see what they look like. I'm gonna take them off at some point. Oh. Anoop says he can't sit in front of me. Care to explain why you can't sit in front of me? Although I have an idea of why that is. And I want to see if it is indeed the reason that I think. And Okay, hello Edward. So I was talking about these socks that Brian got me. So I made a video. I got some new items in. This looks very crooked to me. Am I crooked? Maybe that's better now. This blue blanket's annoying me. Okay, so I got some new things in. Now it's crooked again. There. Okay. I got some new items in, one of which is these socks. And in the video, I meant to talk about Brian a little bit, but I forgot. Today, I kind of want to talk about the difference between, in my opinion, of what a good sub is and what an annoying sub is, because there's been a lot of both this week, and I just want to put it out there so you know what I like and what I expect if somebody is trying to serve me. Obviously, you don't have to. It's totally up to you, but if you want to, you know, there's certain things that make me happy, and then there's certain things that make me unhappy. So we're going to talk a little bit about both today. Anoop says he always kneels down. Okay. I would say that if I get to choose a kneeling position for you, I would say that you should be kneeling with your head on the ground and your arms along your side with your palms facing up. If I get to pick the kneeling pose, that's what I'm going to suggest for you. And kind of like a kiss the floor position. Oh, Pikachu. Interesting comment. We know that all these fantasy will not give us benefits, then why we still keep going after? Pikachu, I would say that all my subs would disagree with you and that they do get lots of benefits from being under my control. But to each his own. I don't know what kind of fantasy stuff you're pursuing, but my subs are usually pretty happy with what I provide for them. So to each his own, I guess. Oh, okay. Somebody just updated their name to make it a little bit easier for me. I can call them Kay. Thank you for that. Okay, so I was talking about Brian, and Brian is one of my favorite subs. I've talked about him before. I don't remember how long ago he approached me. I'm gonna repost his initial comment on my X page just so you guys can see how he approached, because it was very well done. The way that he approached me, it made me very happy. And he has been a great sub since then. I would actually like a little more interaction with him, but you know, how much ever subs want to interact with me is fine. But he occasionally will just tribute or send gifts without being asked, which is a great thing to do if you're a sub. It makes me very happy, and I do notice. He recently, besides these socks I'm wearing right now that he got from me, he also did, I think it was $100 contribution towards my day trading computer. So that also makes me happy. And I did not ask him to do that. He just does it because he knows that that makes me happy. Oh, Ben loves being commanded by goddesses, plural. And Purvis Bread says hello. Hello, Ray. Yes, very well said. Ray says, and this is a good point for the other person that made the comment about this, but Ray says that most people who are not into the lifestyle don't understand that submissives get their pleasure from serving their dominant. So very well said. There you have it from a submissive himself. And Arcane is saying the benefits are that we love it. So there you go. They're telling you what they get out of it. And it's just like, you know, being submissive is just like, in a way, the pleasure that you get out of it is kind of like any kink. If you don't have a kink for something, you're not really going to understand how somebody could possibly get pleasure or enjoy something that sounds so weird or silly to you. But there's plenty of people that have strange kinks. And if it's not for you, you know, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, you know, they are a little strange and fairly entertaining to me personally, but I do try not to necessarily kink shame. I'm not criticizing somebody for having a kink. You know me, as long as it's something that's safe and healthy and not gonna hurt you. That's kind of my main thing. But if you don't, if you don't have a wedgie kink, for example, then you don't understand how getting your drawers pulled up between your butt cheeks could possibly be a turn on. But some people, that's a big kink that some people have. If you don't have it, you're not going to get it, but you have to at least respect the fact that for some people, that's their thing, okay? So you may not understand, and that's okay. But just because you don't have, you don't get pleasure from being submissive to somebody, or you don't have a certain kink, doesn't mean that other people can't have it or get pleasure from it. How do we think about, or what do we think about that? Scorpion is letting us know that his cage is pink. That sounds appropriate to me. Are you now in the NNN? I'm gonna say the no walnut November. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. We are now in NNN from Locktober. If you are going the extra mile and staying secure, shall we say, then maybe you're continuing with, maybe Scorpion is still in his pink little cage. I hope it's little. And I don't know if you saw one of my videos, but if you want an extra challenge, you can always stick your cage, if it's metal, it might work if it's plastic too, I don't know, but especially if it's metal, you can always stick it in the freezer for, a couple hours and then put it back on if you want a little extra spice in your life. Oh, I like that. Very well said. Fareed says, I just pay and shut my mouth up. Well put. He sounds very obedient. And okay, Kay was asking me, what are my view on the lifestyle resident subs? So I don't, I've talked about this in other live streams. I don't personally have subs who come to my house. I'm not saying I wouldn't, eventually if I had a lot of trust for somebody, that might be the situation. But I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. I think it's great if that's what you're into. I don't know if you're asking for me personally, if that's something I would have in my life. I think I just answered that question. But I would say it's more, that kind of dynamic is going to be more for a lifestyle dom versus a professional dom. And the difference is, because I saw somebody on X who didn't realize that there was like a difference. But so in my view of what I know of things, a lifestyle dom is someone who engages in BDSM practices in their daily life, in their personal relationships, versus a professional dom is getting paid for services, whether it's kinks and fetishes and or financial domination online. So that's kind of the difference from what I know. I hope that answers your question. Oh, it is metal. Even better. Stick that in the freezer. Let me know how that goes for you. Hello to Bruce Wayne. And Pikachu says, self-designed pleasures are fake fantasy versus real tangible pleasure are different. Fake fantasy is just self-deception at its core. I'm just gonna let that one be. If that's your opinion, then I am not gonna sit here and try to convince you that somebody's pleasure that they derive from being in a BDSM relationship is real. If you want to call that fake pleasure to them, I'm sure there's lots of people in this chat that would not be very appreciative of what you're saying. And I know I certainly am not. But whatever makes you happy there, friend. Whatever floats your boat. Oh, Fareed says, do you have any human chairs? I'm a professional human chair. I have not had the pleasure of having any human furniture, but I would love it. I think that sounds very entertaining and fun for me. I would love to have some human furniture, I'm not gonna lie. And hello, Rafi, hello to you. And Callum. Scorpion says his cage is very cold and tight. That sounds perfect. And probably well-deserved, let's be honest, right? Yes. Ray, how do you feel about a mistress making you wear your cage during NNN after Locktober? I think I just answered that. Maybe you came on right after I said that, but I think that's fantastic. I think everybody should be continuing into NNN after October, but you know, it's really for the only for the best subs who can actually handle it, because that is quite a commitment to 2 months in a row, depending on how long you've worn your device, what you're used to, or if you're not used to it at all, then that could be very challenging for you to do 2 months in a row. So personal preference, but if I have a say, I'm gonna have to say yes. Yes, you should. Oh, Cosmic Honey, love your videos. What's your favorite movie? It sounds like those two comments are not related at all, right? You're not asking what my favorite of my videos is. What's my favorite movie? I don't know if I have one specific favorite movie, but I am kind of a sci-fi nerd, especially like older sci-fi movies. So I would have to say like Terminator, Terminator 2, Aliens are kind of some of my favorite movies. Yes, I am nerdy like that. Anu says, kneeling in front of you is very comforting. Well, I'm happy to hear that. Enjoy that. I think kneeling and listening to one of my hypnosis videos would probably be quite thrilling for you. I think you would enjoy that very much, so maybe you should try that. Okay, so back to my topic at hand. Wait, did somebody ask a question here earlier? I thought I saw, I don't know how they did that, but it was like a Q&A. I don't know. Let's go on now. Moving along. So we're talking about good subs versus annoying sub behavior. Good subs, like I said, approach correctly right off the bat. When you are approaching a goddess, that is the initial impression that you're making. So you should be trying to make a good impression. And, you know, I have said this many times, I'm very appreciative of everybody who follows me on the YouTube channel, and I appreciate your guys' support, you know, subscribing to the channel, liking the videos, leaving comments, all that good stuff. I definitely appreciate you, but you should understand after you've watched my videos that you know, and it's one thing when we're in a live stream, you know, you're welcome to comment, ask me questions, that type of thing. But if you are reaching out to me outside of YouTube or the live stream, you should not be reaching out to me unless you have sent tribute, because that is in our world seen as kind of disrespectful, just so you know. And it's really not that hard of a thing to do. Alternatively, and I've said this many, many times before, but in case you're new, if you haven't heard me say this, if you don't have money and you're not able to serve financially in that way, I have a couple subs who I want to give a little recognition to today, who make me very happy. And that is Papillion. I think, Adam, is that you also? Are you the one that goes by Papillion on a couple of my other social media platforms? If you are, Papillion, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. He likes all my social media posts, he reposts a lot of stuff, and he leaves comments on stuff, but he does not reach out to me and expect one-on-one interaction without having sent tribute. So I am very appreciative of him, and I notice that kind of stuff. I definitely notice it. And the other one I want to give a shout out to is, let me know if you're in the chat here, is Service Submissive. Both of them are very, very good about supporting me in the ways that are helpful to me and that I appreciate, without being annoying and expecting interaction for free. So I appreciate both of you. I just wanted to mention that. And like I said, I'm not trying to twist anybody's arm. If, you know, if you can't afford to serve financially, that's fine. Nobody's pressuring you. Nobody's twisting your arm or anything like that. You know, I want you to want to serve. But if you don't have the money, you have no business sending me private messages and trying to get my attention constantly for free. Okay, that is very disrespectful. Okay, so I just said there's plenty of other ways that you can show devotion and make me happy without doing that. Like I said, you're welcome to comment in live streams, ask me questions. I'm talking about reaching out outside of here. Sorry, I think my shoulder just cracked. Okay. Scorpion is still talking about what he's wearing. Good for you, bud. Ray says, sorry, goddess, I did miss. I came on late. She is actually making me go 3 months because she is counting the new thing. Denial December. Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Okay. It's just going to be something every month at this point. Fareed is very proud of his record as the best human chair. A girl who weighed 83 kilograms. I don't know what that is. What is that in pounds? Is it like 160 or something? 2.2, is it 2.2 kilograms per pound? I don't remember. What's the conversion rate? Sat on my back for 2.5 continuous hours while watching a movie, and I managed to endure it. That is pretty impressive. I'm thinking 83 is probably like 170, 180 pounds. Somebody clarify for me. Cosmic Honey says, I worded that weird. Sorry, but thank you. The Terminator is very cool. Yes, it's a very old classic movie. We love Arnold. Ben, do you still want to interview me about the Dominatrix I'm seeing November 17th? Yeah, absolutely. I can't remember if we've talked about that outside of, I think you might have mentioned it in a live stream or something. I don't know if you've mentioned, I've had a couple people message me about interviews, so I'm not sure. I don't think you're one that I've talked to privately. And that just to go back to what I was saying about reaching out to me on platforms, if you're wanting to do an interview, like the interviews that I do on the YouTube channel, then you do not have to send tribute for that. But you should, when we're talking, it should just be about the interview. If you're wanting to ask me questions about kinks and stuff like that, then you have to send tribute, okay? But if we're just talking about setting up an interview, like the interviews I do on the channel here, then you do not have to send tribute for that, just to clarify. So yeah, if you haven't reached out to me, feel free. Usman, can I ask a question? Yeah, go ahead. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with asking questions here on the live stream. That's totally fine. Kay says, who are service subs? Social media posts, etc. would be part of it, question mark. So I was referring to a user who calls himself service submissive. That's his like username. I was referring to somebody specific. Generally, a service submissive is someone who likes doing service activities for a dom, like washing the car, running errands, just different things that like service tasks that please her. So I guess, I don't know if they really, I guess you could count engaging with social media posts as acts of service. But that's what he calls himself. That's who I was referring to. Usman says, Mistress, why do you like to make these type of videos? I am a new subscriber. Well, okay. Why do I like to make these types of videos? I don't know. I enjoy role play. I enjoy having control over people and setting structure for them and schedules and that type of thing. So I don't really know how to answer your question, but hopefully that answers it. Ben, I mentioned in your last live stream. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, so you can message me on one of my social media platforms and we can talk about that a little more in detail. Do you guys want to see the socks, by the way? I did a video with them in it, but they're very nice socks. But they're also getting a little hot, so I might have to take them off. Usman, ma'am, you can control me. May I kneel for you? Ma'am. Yes, I mean, how about everybody in the live stream just go ahead and kneel? Why not? If you're able to, go ahead and kneel while we chat. I think that would be lovely. And if you're able to still tune in, you can periodically put your head on the floor and your palms along your side, or your hands along your side with your palms up. That's my favorite position. It's not like it's like a child's pose with your hands backwards. Scorpion says he is kneeling. Good. Oh. Dogmatis. Good question. Okay, so I'm just gonna say dogma. Says what a sub like me should expect from the initial monthly fee. So this is a good question. Hello, Perk from Hamburg, Germany. Welcome. Okay, so this is a good question. The first thing I'm going to say is that you have to remember that first and foremost, I am a financial dominatrix. Okay, I am not just a dominatrix or regular dom, lifestyle dom, anything like that. I'm a financial dominatrix. And I just made a whole video about this. I would suggest that you go back and watch it. And if you've watched that video, then you would understand that it's not necessarily about money. Money is the medium that I control you with. So if you are expecting a certain thing in return for money, that's not financial domination, that's a transaction. Financial domination is not transactional. It's more that money is a form of devotion, okay? So that's first and foremost. So if you are asking me what you get for the initial tribute, then it sounds like you're not really getting the whole dynamic, is what I would say. But what I would say is that an initial tribute is your initial way of showing devotion or that you are interested in serving a dom. That's what that is. It's a sign of respect. It's a sign of devotion that you're interested in serving. So that is what an initial tribute. But if you're expecting like something in return for money, that's not how it works. So the way that it usually goes is when somebody sends my tribute, I always require age verification. I have had quite a few people who send tribute and then they're not willing to age verify, so they just lose that money. So I'm telling you right now, I will always require you to verify that you are over 18. To do that, there's 3 different ways that I do that. You can just message me on any of my adult platforms that I have. You can just send me a message on any of them. So that I know you have to age verify to be a part of those platforms. Or there's a website that I use that's free. You don't have to pay for it, nothing. But it is like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's age verification basically. So a lot of people want to just send me a photo of their ID or something like that, and I'm not comfortable doing that because you could just be, you know, finding a random picture off the internet and sending me somebody else's ID. The very minimum I would accept is like multiple pictures of you with your ID, with me giving you very specific poses with the ID so that I know that it's you. But I would prefer for you to verify your age by, like I said, one of those other platforms. And like I said, the website I give is even free, like there's no cost. So there's really no reason not to do it. So once you verify your age and you've sent tribute, I have a few questions that I like to ask to get to know you and what you're looking for. And then usually at that point, we can proceed with a drain or a session. We can schedule a session for a future date and time. I do sessions anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour, multiple hours, whatever. And drains can last, I said this in my video that I posted recently, from a few minutes to a few hours to a few days, depending on how long your money lasts. So that's kind of how it goes after you send tribute for me. And then I don't really even like to talk about long-term dynamics with people who are just sending tribute for the first time, because a lot of times people say stuff like that, and I've started to get the impression that people are trying to get additional interaction in the hopes of like leading me on, thinking it's going to be a long-term dynamic. So I don't talk about long-term dynamics with somebody that has just started sending to me. It's not even an option. Long-term dynamics is what I prefer, but you kind of have to prove yourself first before we're going to do that. Let's go back to the chat. How to do Don I'm trying to figure out what your username means. It's a very long, oh, how to download games and apps. Okay. What can I do for you, mistress? Well, I just talked about this a little bit, but if you're just coming in, you are welcome to, if you want to serve me, you do have to send tribute first and verify your age. If you have any questions about that, you can also always message me on my social media platforms. If you're not interested in financially serving, then you can always, follow my social media accounts, like my posts, repost whatever you can, and engage with me and support me that way. So that's what you can do for me. I also have wish lists. You can go on there and buy stuff off the wish list. Ma'am, did you use Insta, and what if I resist and didn't kneel down on your order? Usman, I feel that your question is trying to engage me in kink play, and I do not engage in kink play with somebody who is not serving me. So I'm not going to respond to that. I do have Instagram. My Instagram is Fiore the Goddess. I don't post on there a whole lot because I'm too afraid to post on a lot of social media accounts. I've just had so many accounts banned that I'm like not even sure what I can post without getting the account in trouble anymore. So I do want to post more on Instagram, but I'm just nervous too. Michael says, hello, Goddess Fiore. Always good to see you. Your videos are very interesting. We'll love to take your orders. Thank you for that. Perk says, Goddess, you are beautiful. That's lovely. Thank you for that. Yes, Ray, thank you. Ray says, every dominant or mistress is going to demand a tribute, whether they're a financial dominatrix or not, because it weeds out the looky-loos who just want to take up someone's time. Yes, we call them time wasters, and there are lots of them. You have to understand that, any online dominatrix who has a profile that who's trying to attract subs, we get barraged with messages every day. I could show you my inbox. There's hundreds of messages in there from people who are asking random questions, people who are trying to expose themselves for free, people who are just trying to waste our time for free and trying to interact and get as much interaction as they can for free. That happens all the time. I even have like a lot of women in my inboxes. I think they're like OnlyFans people or something. I don't know why, but I get a lot of that too, which is weird because I don't know why they're barking up the wrong tree here. Okay. Arcane says, in real life sessions or online, I was away for a bit. What do you mean? I don't understand what your question is. Expand on that, please. James says hello. Hello to James. Usman says, I'm going to serve you. Can you tell me way? If you want to serve me, you message me on one of my platforms. I would suggest X or Instagram. And I'm going to ask you to send tribute and verify your age. So that's how you do it. So back to the topic at hand today. Good subs versus annoying sub behavior. Property of Women is ready on his knees. Good boy for that. So good sub behavior, we talked about that. To summarize, you send tribute without being told. You are willing to verify your age. You don't give me pushback when I ask to verify your age. Good sub behavior is, like I mentioned, Brian, sending gifts and tributes without being told is always a way to make a good impression with a dominant. Reaching out. Let's go into some of the bad behaviors. So those are all the good behaviors. I like to always start with positive things before I start going to negative things. So some of the negative behaviors that I would suggest that you don't do, whether it's with me or somebody else, is reaching out to somebody without tribute. So like I said, leaving comments in the live stream, asking me questions, totally fine. I'm talking about direct messaging, directly trying to get one-on-one interaction without having sent is not okay. You can go outside. You need to go potty? Go. Go on. You know, you need to go. Hold on, he wants me to let him out. I'll be back. Fine. You know you can go outside all by yourself, weirdo. Okay. So, I have a very needy Chihuahua. The last thing I need is a needy sub. You know what I'm saying? This just dripped all over me. Okay. So, needy sub behaviors. Reaching out without tribute. I did have someone recently who started off great. He sent tribute. He followed my directions. He did buy me something off my wish list. And then he, I think I mentioned him in one of my videos. Maybe I haven't posted it yet. But he also, he didn't send very much. It wasn't a very big amount, but he told me that he had reached his limit. And even though it wasn't a large amount, you know, obviously I would have liked him to send more, but I really appreciated that he communicated with me that he had reached his limit. But the thing is, generally, when you reach your limit, then the interaction is going to be over, just so you know. Expecting any kind of interaction without continuous payment is not going to happen. And then that same sub also reached out to me, I think like the next day, and was like trying to tell me good morning and stuff. And I try to train my subs pretty quickly on that if they're reaching out to me, they need to be sending. I can reach out to you. If I reach out to you, I'm not expecting anything. But if you reach out to me, there should be a tribute attached, if that makes sense. So that's kind of how I see things. And I'm, again, I'll say this for the 100th time. Sending tribute does not give you unlimited access and endless interaction. That's not how it works. So hopefully that makes sense. So that's kind of poor sub behavior to expect continuous interaction and endless interaction. And then the other mistake that this sub made, and this is a pet peeve of mine, and I guarantee you that no Dom likes this, is he made a comment saying, oh, well, other Doms, I forget, I don't remember what it was word for word, but it was something along the lines of, oh, well, other Doms will engage with me without having sent tribute. And I guarantee you that no Dom cares what other Doms are doing. And we definitely do not like being compared to how other people are doing things, okay? That is a big no-no. Don't do that. Don't sit there and say, oh, well, so-and-so does this. Like, I don't give an F, okay? So that's just my 2 cents on that. Don't do that. And then we're going to enter the territory of very bad sub behavior, okay? Very bad sub behavior. I had somebody who I don't think I can't remember if I mentioned him in the last live stream, but most of you probably weren't there. So Corey says, hello, couch. Oh, are you looking? Oh, did you come in when I wasn't here and you were looking at my couch? Never mind. I was gonna make a joke, but maybe that's not a good joke to make. Moving along. What was I gonna say? Oh, yes, bad sub behavior. I had someone who was leaving comments on my videos here and said that he had sent me $300. And, just so you know, I get notifications when I receive payments. Like, I always know when somebody has paid me. And usually people are claiming their payments, obviously, because they're usually paying to interact. Not always. Sometimes people silently send. But I had not received any $300 payments. So I knew that he was lying. So if somebody tells me that they sent to me and I'm pretty sure that they haven't, I'm going to ask for a screenshot. And when you can't send me a screenshot of the payment that you didn't make, then I'm obviously going to know you're lying. And how do you think I'm going to react when I know someone is lying to me about sending? What do you think is going to happen? Anybody? Anybody? So, I'll tell you, I'm never going to speak to you again. I'm going to block you. That is not okay to do. That is a very low, yes, exactly, Scorpion, instant block, okay? And you will not receive any attention from me ever again, okay? Because that is a very rude thing to do. Do not do that. I am not stupid, okay? Like I said, I get notifications and I'm gonna know if you're lying, so don't do that. Yes, so that is one of my biggest pet peeves. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen sometimes. And it's especially funny when I ask somebody for a screenshot and then they get like bitter and angry and start insulting me. Like, that's you, not me. I'm not gonna get offended at all. It's just gonna make me laugh at how pathetic you are. But maybe that's what you want, I don't know. Some people like that, right? Some people like that. Dogma says, how much time do you spend to understand an initial tribute? Oh, initial tributor, okay. How much time do you spend to understand initial tributor? I mean, it takes time. You know, like I said, I have a few questions that I ask and that gives me an idea. And then, you know, like I said, you know, we'll do either session, drain, you know, debt contract, whatever someone's interested in. There's something after the initial tribute, and then I'll kind of use those things and I'll incorporate them in whatever we're gonna do next. So that's kind of how it all works. But yes, definitely don't like those bad sub behaviors. What was the question? Oh, Arcaden says, before I left, you were talking about sessions or something. I think I was just clarifying, like, what was I gonna say? I think I was just clarifying a lifestyle dom that, you know, some people do in live sessions. For the most part, financial dominatrixes, we don't do in-person sessions. I'm open to it, but for me, I've said this many times before, it would have to be somebody who's served me for a while who I would feel comfortable with. And for any in-person interaction, just give you a heads up, I would definitely require a full background check. So just be aware of that. But at some point, I would love to travel around and do in-person sessions. That's kind of a goal of mine. Yes. Yas says, do women serve you, goddess? I don't currently have any women serving me. I've had sissy men, can't say the word, girly men serve me, men who like to dress up in girls' clothing, but obviously not the same as women. So no, I do not have any female subs. Not opposed to it, but just, they're not as common for sure. Definitely not as common. Why are you offering? Usman, can you answer my question on which day you come to live or yeah? And mistress, can I leave? Yes, of course, you can leave whenever you want. Rafi is leaving. Yes, I go live every Thursday, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. Sometimes I'm live on Sundays. I'm usually coming back from the gym, so I'm gonna be looking like this rather than getting dressed up. Usually Thursdays, I'm a little bit more put together, shall we say. But Sundays are a little bit more busy. But I do try to accommodate you guys that are in other countries so that you can get my time as well. Property of women worships me and debt contract details. Okay, so I just did a new debt contract for Mr. P. I think it was last week or something. My debt contract details are, well, I'm sitting weird on the couch. That's better. Mine are, payments are a minimum of $100 per week. So I have somebody that's doing a bi-weekly contract right now. So he pays $200 every 2 weeks. It's a minimum of $1,000 on the debt contract. So that can be obviously spread out. Minimum $100 per week. I have a minimum 7% interest. I did have somebody recently who wanted 25% interest. I can certainly do higher interest if that's what you want. And then you can do add-ons. There was somebody that wanted to do some add-ons recently. He was actually very demanding, so he didn't get the privilege of doing a debt contract with me. But I am definitely open to adding add-ons, and when we incorporate slave training, other stuff in with the interaction that you get with the debt contract. And then, oh yeah, I have so you have to send initial tribute for a debt contract, and then you also have to send a $25 application fee. And that's for me to take the time and write up the debt contract. And then once I write up your debt contract, I get all your details. I have a form that you submit, and then I write up the contract using the information that you provide on the form. And then I will email it over to you, and you can sign it by either printing it out or just responding to the email with your name. I keep it pretty simple. Let me know if that answers your question. Let's see. Corey says, nice hair in a bun. Thank you. This is how I wear my hair to the gym. Sometimes I have to move the bun back a little bit because I do a lot of headstands. Today it was just handstands. Usman says, why you feel good when people serve you and you like to rule people, but what if they resist? So I am the mindset of any sub-dom relationship has to be consensual. So when we have an initial conversation about your interests, we talk about all that. Once we are, and we have to establish boundaries, and if you're someone who likes to be coerced or bratty or something like that, then we need to establish that, and there needs to be like a safe word in case we're going too far. But once we've established that, then depending on the interaction, then I will put you in your place if you resist. But like I said, there's an initial conversation where everything is consensual, of course. My dad says, what is your opinion about NNN challenge? We already talked about this a little earlier. No, I'm going to say NNN, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to say is no walnut November, minus the wall part. Figured out. So it's like a continuation of Locktober. Yeah, I mean, I'm all about it, especially if you did Locktober and you survived, then you should be ready for NNN. And then who was it? Ray that brought up, or somebody brought up, apparently there's also Denial December. So if you want, you can go 3 months with nothing. Yes. I am currently trying to, I don't know, he's probably not in the live stream here, but he can speak up if he is. I am currently trying to set up an interview with I think he said he's 30 or almost 30, maybe he's 29 or 30, virgin. And he said that he's never even seen a woman naked. So I am very excited to interview him. I have lots of questions, and I know a lot of you can relate. Even if you're not a virgin, a lot of you have had relations with very few women, and a lot of times you have to pay for it, don't you? Yes. Speak up in the chat if you fall into that category. So we shall do a interview with him if he's willing. But I have to say, you must be very brave to speak up and share that experience, don't you think? I think that would be very brave of him to do. And like I said, the reason I wanted to is because I think that's very relatable for many of you. Usman says, what you like to your servants address you mistress or ma'am or any more formal. I think you can angry on me, but after this I will leave and come back to you on Thursday. I prefer goddess. I prefer to be addressed by goddess. Oop, let me, can I screenshot that? Probably not. Sorry, I was just getting a notification about a stock that might be moving tomorrow. Property of women. Any membership live goddess? I'm not sure what you mean. Are you talking about have we got any memberships on the live stream? I don't know. Can they do that? Clarify your comment for me. Ben says, I think I fall into that category, but I'm not sure. I stepped away from the computer for a moment and missed a few minutes. Corey says, have you ever served in an army or something else? No, I was never in the military. What made you think that? Is it my muscles? My muscles are from pole dancing, not from being in the military. I actually, when I was in college, my first year, I wanted to go to medical school and I was working for a retired surgeon. I wanted to be a surgeon. And he was trying to convince me to join the military to be able to pay for medical school. And I was like, there's no way. Like, I do not like people telling me what to do. Even then, obviously, not like a submissive person. But I was like, there's no way I could not have somebody telling me what to do all the time. So I decided medical school was not for me. And I went into my other career that I have now. Kay is wondering how tall I am. I am 5'6", but people often think that I'm taller than I am because, well, you guys don't see too many videos of me doing pole, but when I do pole, I wear 7 or 8 inch heels. So people think I'm very tall. I'm not very tall. And I'm kind of athletic anyways. Not skinny. We'll say that. How's that? Usman, can you confirm that you are from United States and you come live on 9 to 10 p.m. at night on Thursday? Yes, I do live in the US, obviously American. 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday. Okay, so there you have it. Figure out your time zone. And then if you're not sure how to figure out, subtract, or add hours, then you can just go on Google and say, what is my time zone compared to Eastern time zone? Okay. Because I've had people that want me to sit there and figure it out for them. It's like, we've got Google, you've got ChatGPT, figure out your own time difference. And I'm going to go back and add this to the topic that I've kind of had today, which is good and bad sub-behaviors. Another very annoying sub-behavior is to expect me to do things like that for you. You need to be figuring out how to convert time zones on your own. Don't waste my time with that crap, okay? And then also, I had somebody, I think his name was Paul. I'm thinking he might be like an older gentleman because he seems very confused with how to use the internet and technology. He said that he wants to pay me, but he can't figure out, he's never paid for anything online. I don't know about that, but you know, he keeps messaging me that he can't figure out. I can't help you. I mean, that's not something that I can help you with. I don't know what to say. Like, you need to figure your stuff out. S-word, stuff out. You need to figure it out. I am not, like I said, you know, you are supposed to be making my life easier, not harder. So when you bother me with stuff like that, like not being able to figure out how to put your credit card on a payment app or something, go figure it out. Come on, you're an adult, figure it out. If you are an older adult and technology is hard for you, then go find a young family member to help you, okay? Kay says, I do look taller than 5'6" for sure. I know, I get that a lot. Corey, okay, what a story are you, I don't know, did my story surprise you, or I don't know what that reaction is. Good morning to I'm just going to say Deb. I have a long name that might be hard for me to say. Kay says, I look taller than 5'6" even when I'm sitting. Probably my posture. Probably so. That could be. Usman. Usman says, can I address you ma'am or madam? I don't like to address you as mistress or goddess. Then why the F did you ask me? If you're just going to call me whatever you want, then why bother even asking? Like, annoying sub behavior in action right now. Ben says, I think paying for intimacy is great. It's honest and transparent. You might be responding to somebody else's comment that I didn't see. And I agree with you 1,000%, my friend. And, you know, out of my realm, but I would even say that for like prostitution and stuff like that. I'm all about it. You know, people paying for what makes them happy. But I think it should be legal personally. As long as everybody is safe and whatnot. I would personally never do that, but you know, I do think it's something that should be legal. I think people have needs, and it's important to have those needs met within reason. Obviously, addiction with anything is never good, but Property of Women says, I want to get drained. Well, then message me on one of my social media platforms and let us proceed with that. I will be here in 2 more minutes, and then if you message me, you can get drained right now. You could get drained right now, actually, in the live stream if you wanted to. Princess Pinky tipped me $160 in one live stream. There's no reason you can't. You can actually tip right here in the live stream. Fun fact. So, less saying you want to and more doing it. How's that? Mr. Bong is trying to say something, but I think his fat fingers got in the way because you only typed like 4 letters. Maybe try again. Corey says, what is your favorite color? Actually, weirdly, my favorite color ever since I was a child was yellow. I would say later in life it became pink. I like to wear a lot of black. But I would say I've gone back to yellow. Not necessarily as a color that I'm going to wear. I might wear it on some things, but I just feel that it is a very happy and cheerful color. So it makes me happy. Okay, any other questions for me? We got 1 more minute. And then I'm going to go take the Halloween decorations down. You want to see them? It's kind of messy in here. Don't look at my mess. Ah! I'm going to say bye-bye to all those Halloween decorations up there. I'm going to go take them down. Now, I do wish I had a sub to do stuff like that. That would be nice. If I could have anything right now, I would have 1 sub to prop my feet up on, another sub to rub my feet, and then another sub or 2 to take down all my decorations. And maybe even another one to clean my grill. Doesn't that sound nice? Ah, don't hurt yourself. Oh, somebody's coming to join us. Look who it is. Needy. Who's very needy. Excuse you. What are you doing with your paw here, sir? What did I miss? Bong says, Goddess love you. Thank you for that. Kay says, fat finger got in the way. I will use this for typos. Okay. And Rafi's back. And Corey's favorite color is black and sometimes red. Okay, good to know. Kay says, wish I could be there to be one of these tasks that you just mentioned. Which one would be your favorite if you could do any of the tasks that I just mentioned? Wish I could put you to work. You gonna take the Halloween decorations down? No, you're useless. You can't even be a footstool. I'll crush you. Yeah, he's worthless. I'm waiting for Kay to tell me which task he would like to do. Oh. Dogma says, I can't feel real intimacy with the dominant and becoming my dom without having deep understanding for each other, and I wonder if one initial tribute would be enough. I mean, probably not. Probably not. I mean, if you're looking for a deep understanding of each other, it takes a while to get that right. Kay chooses that he would massage my feet. And Callum would be my footstool. And Arcane Winner would be my maid. So Arcane would be given the project of taking down the decorations right now. Corey says, my dog is so adorable. Yeah, until he bites me. He bit me earlier today. He's a little fucker. Aren't you? Huh? You're naughty. You're cute but vicious. Yeah. This is Mo. The grouchy old man. Actually, he's very spoiled. He went for a bike ride yesterday, and then he went to the doggy park the day before. Didn't you? Yeah, you're freaking spoiled. Kay says, but I would be at your disposal, mistress, whatever your order. Okay. Usman. Okay, bye. I have already tell you before that today I am in crazy mood. I will annoy you. Okay. Yes says, does BDSM heal anyone? I mean, it's not therapy. It can be somewhat therapeutic in a sense. We talked about this the last live stream. Somebody asked me if all kinks and fetishes come from trauma, and I said not always, but a lot of times yes. And so in some ways it can be people acting out trauma, and it makes them feel comfort. It's comforting for them and helps to de-stress, but it's not necessarily therapeutic. It's not meant to be therapy, okay? Dogma. It's an S little dog. I don't know what you mean like by that. Anyways, we are past 5 o'clock now, so I'm going to get to taking my decorations down. Maybe next year some of you can be here and do it for me, right? If you get to that point, you earn that right. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I'll be live on Thursday again, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. And then I'm glad, I don't think they promoted my live stream. I'm kind of glad. I was on the borderline of making this a members only live stream because the last couple live streams have been like a lot of weird people. So I'm glad that this one was not that. And if that does keep happening where I get a lot of like random people in the live streams, I might be starting to do more members only live streams, just so you know. We'll see how it goes the next few weeks. But Corey says I have pretty eyes. Thank you for that. And what was I gonna say, Ben, you know that you are to message me about the interview. And what was I gonna say? I have a couple videos that I need to edit today. I'll try to post something either tomorrow or the day after. And we'll go from there. So everybody have a wonderful evening, and I will see you maybe Thursday. Bye.